All right, good morning. Well, go ahead and get started. So let's start by settling the body, adopting a stable, comfortable, upright position, serviceable for meditation. So I think about keeping our feet flat and our back straight, torso open, hands in the lap right over left, with the palms upturned and the thumbs gently touching. Our eyes are gently closed or slightly open, making sure we let in enough light to remain alert. Try to avoid slouching or leaning. But we also let go of any unnecessary tension or rigidity in the body. Allowing the body to fall into place. And then begin to pull back your awareness, letting go of attending to the outside world, constraining your awareness just to the body and mind. Concentrating that awareness in the present by attending closely to the physical sensation of the air moving into and back out of the tip of the nostrils. Noticing quickly when anything other than that one physical sensation is arising in the mind, and without judgment or frustration, lifting your awareness up from those distractions and placing it gently but firmly again and again on the breath. And then when the mind feels more calm, we generate a broad and altruistic motivation, thinking of using our time to establish and deepen constructive ways of thinking and acting, cultivating states of mind that connect oneself to a sense of peace and ease, and that give rise to actions naturally and spontaneously that are of benefit to others. And separating ourselves from tendencies and habits that we've become familiar with that are not productive or beneficial. These states of mind agitate and disturb our own peace, and they spontaneously, naturally give rise to actions that often cause harm to others. We think of transforming the mind in this way in order to be of greater and greater benefit to sentient beings. And then with that motivation, we'll contemplate training the mind in exchanging, cherishing others, or cherishing oneself. Here, cherishing has two different meanings. Self-cherishing as a technical term is an exaggerated, egoistic, self-centered concern, whereas cherishing others is based in reason, in logic, is realistic. One leads to constriction and suffering, and the other leads to open-heartedness, courageousness. And this contemplation also can play a role in developing bodhicitta. So we begin by contemplating that there is no distinction between oneself and others. Just like oneself, all sentient beings try to obtain pleasure and avoid pain as the overriding principle. Whatever culture, mannerisms. Every sentient being is the same. Whether we agree or disagree, value systems, from each perspective, individually, there's always an attempt to maximize one's own happiness and to minimize one's own pain and discomfort. So contemplate for a moment your own actions and those of others, and try to see the universal validity of that idea. And think as well that to them, their happiness is no less important than mine is to me, and their suffering is no less painful than my own. We're also completely equal in placing ourselves in the center of our story, and completely equal in being deserving of happiness, having an equal stake and an equal claim. But with respect to self-cherishing or other cherishing, the result is quite different. Self-centeredness is the source of all of our own misery. And cherishing others is the doorway to all happiness. when we go through life trying only to maximize our own enjoyment, our perspective narrows, and we become more fragile. We become fearful of difficulty, and we exaggerate challenging circumstances as a threat to our own happiness. Needing to get some benefit from every moment for oneself, we find ourselves unable to relax, unable to bring spaciousness to the mind. We hold others to an unrealistic standard of expecting that they always treat us politely, kindly, respectfully, which isn't a realistic view to hold at all times, which gives rise to conflict and sensitivity to the slightest unpleasant word. So think along these lines in your own life, recognizing this impulse to make everything work out for oneself, one's own preferences, and see if it does give rise to conflict and a kind of inner fragility, a lack of resilience. Come to some conclusion about how it operates in your life. when we can reverse that tendency and begin to care more about others, then we ourselves also benefit. Yes, myopic, egoistic self concern is replaced with a wide perspective. One's own difficulties and problems seem much less significant. And a sense of warm heartedness arises between oneself and others, giving rise to better relationships, by thinking of how to make things work out best for others instead of oneself. We develop that inner strength and all good spiritual qualities can flow. So try to set a sense of determination, resolve to begin practicing seeing others as important and cherishing them, focusing in each interaction with others on their well being instead of simply getting something for ourselves. Recognizing that dedicating our lives for others gives it incredible meaning. And try to concentrate the mind on that resolve single pointedly. And then when you're ready, we'll come back together. And we'll dedicate. So recollect your altruistic motivation and think that by contemplating in this way, you've actualized that motivation, created positive energy in the mind. And think that you freely offer the fruit of your practice for the benefit of all sentient beings without exception. Bringing to mind, too, those affected by the wildfires in Hawaii, those who have lost their lives, and those who are under threat. Mm, thinking that if they did lose their lives, that they quickly achieve a perfect human rebirth, and may the situation be resolved quickly for those who are still in danger. And thinking, may this positive energy completely bring an end to war and conflict, poverty, famine, disease, disasters, all painful inner and outer conditions. May it fully ripen the minds of all sentient beings. May they quickly meet perfect teachers and arise in the state of full enlightenment. May I too achieve this state of enlightenment in order to work for the benefit of sentient beings perfectly. May any obstacles facing the Guru's long life be completely dispelled, and may I and all sentient beings come under the joyful care and guidance of enlightened beings in this moment. May we be guided and protected until we swiftly achieve that state of enlightenment. Thank you.